recreate the Book of Revelation, because what's that actor, Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
He created The Passion in film, and how many unbelievers went to see that film, went to see the movie in the cinema and were converted in their hearts, or even if they weren't converted, they understood what the story meant. So I think this generation of people, we have to almost make Christ palatable, if you like, for the next generation.
Like you were saying earlier on about being creative at Christmas time to get the message out. And I should think that's why God has me doing this.
So you never know, the next mandate could be to depict another book or another scenario, because there are some people that respond well. Do you know when they're trying to communicate a message, you have those high impact adverts, lots of montages on the TV and the background music. There are some people who will respond to the arts, different backgrounds, completely different scenario. But we do have one more picture to have a look at. Yes.
Okay, unfortunately that also is slightly not, it's a little bit larger. But this is the one where you can see the marks on the foreheads of the Jewish evangelists in the foreground.
Wow.
But you can't see it very well. But you can see that there's a sort of glowing, can't you, of little sort of glowing spots in the foreground of that painting. If you looked at it, I don't know how well you can see that, but they're all Jewish people, and there's 144,000 of them.
Wow.
And the thing is that the large bodies there are they're angels. There are 3 of the 4 angels that have been told to hold back the 4 winds of heaven so that the evangelists can be sealed for service and protection. And I use Hurricane Katrina actually as the sort of model for those angels to be holding back the winds.
Oh, wow, you're so creative. This is so amazing.
Jessica, I'm totally mesmerised by this. I think that I can see the reason why the mandate has been there, because I think really, let's be honest, I don't know how many Christians will really sit down and read the Book of Revelations with that full level of understanding. But because you're able to depict it in such an interesting, creative way, and just by looking at that picture, you tell a whole story.
Oh, it is. Right. Each one is a story.
That's right. And you will be there at the library, so when people come to you, they will ask and say, what does this mean, and what does that mean?
I love to answer questions. That's my thing. I love to answer questions.
It's going to be amazing.
Thank you so much.
I just pray that, anyway, I'm so glad that, God knew why he asked you to do it, and he knew that you would be able to do it, because so I don't feel that you're not good enough to do such a great thing, because he's picked you to do this
Apparently
great thing.
so.
And that's just amazing. Thank God for your life.
Thank you.
And you're on chapter 9, you've got another, how many chapters to
Well,
go?
I thought I would just be painting one painting for each chapter.
Okay.
But in fact, chapter 8 was 7 paintings.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's,
it's going to take a few years.
Yeah.
Are these pictures?
Oh, by the way, I do PowerPoint presentations.
Okay.
And I would love to do PowerPoint presentations. Okay. And if they put up my web address, then, and even if you come to my exhibition, then I'd love to. I'm open to doing presentations with my husband.
The web address is on the screen now for the viewers who'd like to get in contact with Jessica and just have a look at the fantastic drawings that she's, the paintings that she's been doing, and also can they just drop into the exhibition? Do
of course. No, it's library hours. Okay. The Stanmore Library is shut on Wednesdays and Sundays, and it's early closing on Fridays.
Okay, and if I can just also add, if you'd like to get further information and you're not sure where to go, you can always phone into the Revelation TV studio and speak to Susie in the office, and by all means, Susie has all of the information and she can give you some further details. Jessica, this is absolutely fantastic. So you've got the paintings. What are the next steps? It's obviously to complete up to chapter 22.
That's it, basically.
But is the idea to sell the paintings or just to use them as an exhibition?
No. If people would like prints, I will sell them at cost, because in fact some of my paintings are very large, and unless the Lord provides a van, it might be more convenient for me to take smaller reproductions of my paintings to have exhibitions with.
Yeah.
I think that I'm supposed to take these paintings out and about.
Oh yes,
You know, and
Definitely.
also
like a road show, do you mean?
that kind of thing, and also PowerPoint presentations. And I would like to go into schools, into the RE classes.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, and just give the presentation into schools.
That would be fantastic.
It sounds really, really great. So obviously there must be a message, because if you're talking about then connecting with different people, the schools and the people who you'll come in contact through looking at pieces of art, but what's the message?
Okay, I'm very glad you asked. And that's going to in fact be the first thing that people would read when they come to the first painting. And that is that we must get on board with Jesus, because judgment is coming. And unless we have had our sins forgiven by Jesus, and unless we've made him Lord of our hearts and been born again, we are not going to be part of the rapture. And the rapture will be the only way to escape what is coming.
So
that's the message.
That's the message.
Yes.
That is absolutely awesome, because there's not very many soft ways of depicting such a crucial, hard message.
It's a terrible thing.
Yeah. But you've almost presented it, a terrible thing, in a nice way.
Yeah. I mean, God, he's marvelous, he's loving, he's awesome, he's so wonderful, but he is just.
Absolutely.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
Can I ask, just out of interest, have you ever been to the Vatican? Have you seen the Sistine?
I have actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you think you received any inspiration from looking at that?
Well, to be honest, I was with a very small little boy at the time, my son, and he was the one that was getting the inspiration. I was kind of trying to learn how to be a new mummy. So when I was there, he amazingly was looking up the whole time at the ceiling, because he was lying on his back in a buggy, you know. And now he is the most marvellous artist, living in California, earning money from what he does.
Amazing.
And he was there, seeing that.
Yes.
When he was tiny, he was like 3 months old.
Yeah.
Have you been to see it?
The Sistine Chapel? Oh yes, absolutely.
And what did you think?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, again, I said earlier on, I'm not an artist. I can do stick people, you know, the face and the two hands. That was not mine. I was not in that area for blessings. However, when I went to the Sistine Chapel and saw the beautiful work, it's just, you know, I think everybody processes information in a very different way. And because it's a method of processing that I'm not used to, it just brings you another level of creativity. It just allows you the things that you didn't understand before, what a picture can bring out, that words will allow you to miss.
They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yes, I've heard that saying before.
And that's so amazing. Like we said, most people don't understand the Book of Revelation. We don't read through the whole book.
Can I just show you the commentary that I've used?
Yes, please.
Because I really would like to bless this man, because he is such a brilliant scholar. It's called The Footsteps of the Messiah, and it's by Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum, and you can get it on Amazon.com. It is a thick book, but if you have any questions about Revelation, which I do constantly, this book has answered every one of them. He's really marvellous, this man. I highly recommend this book.
Fantastic.
And he's a Jewish believer.
Yeah, he's a Jewish believer. He has a ministry in California. He's a THM, PhD. He's been to the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He's got like 1 million qualifications. He was just what I needed.
Yes, and you know, the Jewish people know their scriptures, and for them to actually come to know Christ and then be able to translate, they're the best teachers.
Absolutely.
Can I just read this email that's just come in from Jane, which is really, really fitting. It says, recently I was invited to a dance in worship workshop. As a professional dancer, I was beginning to get into this in the 80s, but feel that God is using people so much more in the artistic areas. The guest is wonderful. Please pray that these gifts will be brought out into the domain of the church, particularly in the realm of art and dance, so that we can glorify God with the gifts that he has given us.
Yes.
Definitely.
Amen.
Absolutely brilliant.
That
And I
is
think, that is such a fitting sort of point of discussion, because
it is.
arts is one of the pillars of institution in society. So you look at dance, you look at creativity, you look at worship, you look at all the other things that come out of that, and we go back to the mandate, Jessica, that you were speaking about, and all you're doing is using the creativity from the Creator to make something to impact everyone who's going to see that. And the truth is, because you're already thinking out of the box in terms of how you're going to recreate the painting, so you could put them into postcards or greeting cards or things like that. That then takes that whole mandate global.
Yes.
Because if you're taking these postcards, then a postcard doesn't have to stay in England, it doesn't have to stay in London, it can be used anywhere. So in terms of looking at the different connections and the different things, the ability, the creativity that God has given you, that you're able to use, and where that's going to go, you never know. The people that you may need to bless may not even be in England, just that you are. All you are is the conduit that God is going to use to actually affect a different community, a different country, a different nation, with the message of salvation, with the message of judgment, with the message of Christ, using art.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
But absolutely brilliant.
Thank God for yours. But we have somebody else, another